Youth Exchange, in Maiella Mountain, in Lama de Peligni, in Maya camping, and it was amazing. And one of the trainings we did there was about spreading awareness of people with disabilities, and especially we were trained to work with an invention called joelette. Have you heard of it? So basically it's like a wheelchair, it's very mobile, and it's for people with disabilities to lift them from a regular wheelchair, put it on the other one, the joelette, and with this invention you can get them to go to the mountains, and you can allow them to move around more, and it's very disability friendly oriented.
We're a local organization. I made a demonstration by using joelette, and this is like a French invention that helps people with disabilities to visit mountains and like climb. So that's a great opportunity for them to go out of their comfort zone, and it is like an off-road wheelchair that can go everywhere where a bike can go, and the organization is helping the one in need completely for free, and is interested in doing such things in other places and collaborating with other organizations. So my first question is, have you heard about joelette before?
No.
So I wanted to ask you if you've heard of it, first of all.
No, really no. I was thinking like when you told me about it's like some electricity specific wheelchair, like the one with the joystick one you see maybe around, like something like this.
So have you ever heard of a thing called joelette?
No.
Or some other kind of facility to help people with disabilities in those kind of situations?
I know that, for example, there's some facilities that are utilized, for example, in Norway and in Germany, if you want to reach the top of, let's say, a historical place like a clock tower or something, because it's if there is no elevator already though. So usually I've seen one where they attach the person in the wheelchair, but like the person never leaves their own wheelchair, they go with it, and the wheelchair is attached to like a thingy, and then they're strapped in almost like a plane, and then this thing goes up. So I've seen that, but I've never seen a joelette, you said it's called?
I want to ask you, do you think it could be useful for people with disabilities?
For sure.
In
They
your,
help.
yeah, and where are you from, by the way?
I am from Genova.
Ah,
I
nice.
took the airplane from here to Milano Bergamo, and after a train to go there.
Ah, nice. And do you think this invention can be used in your city as well?
Of course, yeah. My city is like, it's not like in normal parts of Italy, like all in the same plane, but it's everything uphill, downhill, over like this. So it will be very helpful for so many people.
Oh, that's amazing. And also,
Do you think it could be useful for people with disabilities in your own city to have this joelette?
We don't have a lot of mountains in my town, so I don't know.
from which town you are?
And from which country are you coming from?
Bulgaria. But specifically in my city, I don't think so. I think there are other stuff that can be done, because this is specifically for them to go up.
Apart, yes, correct.
It's
Yeah.
like for off-road. It can be also on the beach
Off-road, it can be
or
also on the
sand.
beach,
It can be.
I think there are other stuff that needs to be done first, because, for example, if you have like a path that's made from you to reach to the beach with a wheelchair, it's also possible. And if you have like, I don't know, maybe wooden patch, that would be easier to accomplish, and you wouldn't have to rely on volunteers. Because how many people you said? 4 to move it?
4, yes.
Or minimum 2.
Or minimum two,
minimum
yeah.
two, yes.
I think the volunteering part is going to be hard, because for a disabled person to be able to go to the beach, because you can't go with the wheelchair because of the sand, you will need 2 people at least on standby every day on the beach. And then it's like, does that mean that people with wheelchair have to be confined to one beach? What if they want to go to another beach? Like it's I don't know. I think specifically for my province, some other stuff has to be done first before we move to a joelette, because there's some infrastructure lacking even beforehand.
Do you know organizations that may be interested in working with the local one that is here in Pescara, so they can connect each other.
They
And
make trainings and they can travel to your city and do a training with the joelette. So if you
don't
know
know about.
organizations that work with people with disabilities,
Most of public situation, there are many, but I really don't know there in specific places.
Okay, so maybe we know that there are many beautiful mountains in Bulgaria. Maybe not in your province, but do you think that other organizations in Bulgaria will be interested in buying or lending such a facility to help the Bulgarians who are with disabilities to climb the mountains?
I think for sure it could be done maybe if it's part, for example, if the Ministry of Tourism decides to do such a thing. Because, for example, I think that recently they've been trying to promote hiking. Because I don't know if you noticed, but if you watch the news after the weather forecast, they do like a short clip of showing you hiking cabins. And they're like, oh, look at this cabin. It was built 30 years ago. And they're like, so they're doing some advertisement in that regard. So I think something that could be useful is to actually contact the Ministry of Tourism, because they have a better reach and then relying on one organization to decide to do it. Because if they do the project of making the mountains accessible, it can be a nationwide thing. Because I'm sure it also depends on the type of mountain, so that the road has to be easy for you to carry someone.
no, it doesn't
No.
matter what kind of mountain.
They can also climb Musala, they can climb Botev.
Wherever a mountain bike can go, there can go also the joelette.
Yes.
Do you need a mountain bike?
No, I mean wherever
A mountain bike can reach,
go.
can
Yes, for example, on Botev Peak, a mountain bike can go, and that means that also the joelette can go.
For someone to volunteer to carry, do you need to go through training?
go. Yes.
Yes, it's but the training is like not so long,
Yes, it's a short training.
and also the organization from Italy has wish and opportunity to go to different countries and make this kind of training. So maybe an NGO can also do such a thing.
I don't know if you have heard about the Path Santiago in Spain. It's they cross the entire Spain, and the organizers that were facilitators in our project, they carried a person on a wheelchair with this joelette for 3 months through the entire Santiago last year. So I would say it's possible to have volunteers. 30 volunteers were participating, and I think young people might be interested. What's your opinion on the topic?
You're gonna need strong young people who already like hiking, because
That's true.
I will be honest, I can't lift another human. Like, maybe a baby I can lift, but like
Actually-
just to mention once again, you don't lift. The joelette is doing all the job. Just there you have to be coordination.
You're like a driver.
Like a driver.
It was
more of a
really
driver.
easy because we tried to do the little training, and as we showed on the video, like also a girl can be a driver, also a girl can lift the person with the help with one other person. So it's not so difficult and it's not so heavy, but of course you have to be fit
of
and
course, and to be
to
passionate
go
about it.
on
It's
the
not
mountains
so-
usually, not to be like
not for the first time.
yes,
Yeah,
not
sure,
for
sure,
the
sure,
first
sure,
time
sure.
for sure.
Okay, that was it. Thank you for your time.